So tonight I want to also introduce our lovely co-host that will be closing with me tonight, who has her sub talk uh, and chat also. So we collaborated. We've been wanting to work with her. Our house has been wanting to work with her. So we're super excited that she's honored us to be on our Tuesday Triskelion talk. And what we're going to do, we always ground every Tuesday. We do ground our talk. So I'm going to bring in the lovely Serenity to go ahead and get us grounded. And we are going to go ahead and get this thing popping. It's all yours, Serenity.
Good evening. Before we move forward, let's go ahead and take a breath together and slow down a bit. Let's start. Deep breath in and out. Again, in and out. Now ask yourself, what brought you here? Knowledge, connection, belonging? Something you just couldn't quite name? Just notice what comes up for you tonight. No judgment, just awareness. Let's take one more breath in and out and stay present.
Thank you so much. So we're going to go ahead and get started with setting the tone. And one of the most beautiful things about community is, of course, we all love that it offers connection. But one of the most dangerous things about community is that sometimes people become so focused on belonging that they stop asking questions.
Right. I think that's where things get kind of complicated because I don't know if some of y'all on here have heard of the frenzy state, but I went through a frenzy state. I'm gonna give you a quick story of the frenzy state. So I was so excited about coming into, I didn't know what blood play was at the time, but the person, the dominant that wanted me to come into this was into blood play. But he noticed that I wasn't ready and I wasn't that's maybe not what I wanted to do. So I want to give you an example of how far I almost went because I hate blood play. I would never do such thing. It's a hard limit. So frenzy is a very thing. That's when it get complicated because you see experience, you see people that seem to know what they're talking about. So you grab onto it real quickly.
Definitely. Yeah, I think we covered that a lot in my S-type chat, our house's S-type chat, I should say. Just about frenzy, just with newbies coming in, it's very important to kind of, I treat the entering a DS relationship, you have to have some of the tools that you use in a vanilla relationship. You need to ask certain questions. You need to use discernment.
Right.
Safety is of the utmost just because of the activity and things that come with having a DS dynamic. So I think, I was a bit of a frenzy as far as like trying out different tools and stuff because I came from the LS swinger style. So
Right.
BDSM kink was new to me. But yeah, it definitely happens. We touch that every week, almost every day about frenzy and kind of keeping a slow pace and not a slow pace, but just being discerning. Be discerning, ask questions. A lot of people aren't who they say they are.
Right.
You have to kind of slow down and kind of figure things out.
And figure yourself out. You got to know what you want to do coming over into said space. You can't just, hey, let's go over here and do this. You should know before even coming into the community. You should already know what you should be looking for. At least half of it.
Yeah.
At least half of it.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Well, how you identify, and that's the early process of learning like what type of submissive you are and what are your hard limits, things
If
like
you,
that.
right.
It's a learning. It's
If you even a submissive,
yeah.
don't even go into the labels really, really quick. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because
Definitely.
that's hard work. I want you to
Definitely.
know. That's not just something that
Yeah.
you take lightly.
Yeah. Because although, for a lot of us, like myself, I've been married. I'm naturally submissive. So the things that I do in my dynamic, they're not like chores or anything that I like bat an eye at because I'm so used to having that natural submissiveness in me. But you have to figure it out. There's different levels to submissiveness also. So that's one of the first things. And before you even interact with dominant or dame, is kind of figuring out, yeah, who you
Right.
are, what you're looking for. And then, of course, as you grow and, and get in a dynamic and, your dom or dame, dominant or dame, what
Right.
their service requires or what their training is, then that'll come along. But the first part when you enter is just, it's basically common sense, asking questions, ask the hard question, ask the easy
Right.
question. Nobody wants to be nobody wants to be berated with questions. You
Right.
got to kind of slick it in when you're getting to know someone. I always tell people, don't just hammer out the questions, because that will, some S types have said that that's turned dominance off. And I can see nobody wants to be, on trial, but there's certain things that need to be discussed up very early, when you're coming into the community and trying to get into that DS relationship.
Right.
So we're gonna.
Okay, Summer. So I'm going to ask a question. What was the first thing you were looking for when you entered the community?
Ooh, that's
You can come
good.
on, you can come on and say something, or you can put it in the chat.
Yes. I'll see what we have in the chat.
The first thing I was looking for was community.
Right.
And that actually, I was in a frenzy with that, joining and being around and just trying to grasp something until I was able to learn not everybody or every organization was for me.
Right.
And that was a big part of me continuing to search for the right group of people that I could benefit from and they could benefit from me. Because it's not always about what I can get from someone else, but also what am I bringing of value into a situation. And it was me constantly looking to be surrounded because I knew nothing and just wanted to soak everything up.
Right.
But like they say, you can't drink from every cup because that's how you get poisoned.
Right.
So I even had to use discernment in the spaces that I was entering into, not even so much as the things that I wanted to do, but the energy that I wanted to be surrounded by.
I feel that. Some of you want to read some of the stuff in the chat?
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. We appreciate you. Yes. So Queen said, I'm 7 years in, and at times when I come upon a new word, new implement, or a video, it is so easy to go into frenzy when you get excited. The importance of learning and knowing you can help slow or down, or knowing you can help or slow down. Yeah, that's very true. I see certain stuff and I be like, oh, screenshot, let me send it to sir. Like,
Right.
can we do this? And he's like, he knows we've been together for a while. So he's like, I don't know if that's good for you, but I'll think about it. I'll let you know.
Right.
So it happens. I think everyone goes through it in different phases. Thank you for sharing, Queen. Let's see. The question too, we have a lot of responses for community and to
Oh,
learn,
yeah.
mostly community.
And learn. Yeah.
Stephanie said, I just wanted to connect with others who look like me. Hey, Chance. When I first entered, I was looking for a feeling of belonging, purpose, to know other people are living the same lifestyle as myself. Uh, Sean Killian said, a tribe and knowledge. Mystique, I was looking for like-minded individuals and people with knowledge and experience I can learn from. Latricia, community and education, wanting to interact with people who look like me, who will understand some of the cultural, historical nuances. Yep, that was me. And Amiko, a way to handle and cope with trauma and build healthy relationship skills. Christine said, I was looking to be more educated, wondering how do I find someone that wants what I want. I had no idea of how to even find someone in the lifestyle out in the world. And any who goes looking for knowledge on BDSM. Yeah, those were some great responses. Thank you all.
Thank you. Those were some good ones. As you can see, mine was dynamic at first, and then I knew that it was a whole nother community outside that I need to
Yeah.
that would be great to connect with.
Yeah, we got one with Sir D. Hi, Sir D. Community and networking. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah,
Thank
I think mine
you.
was looking for my tribe, interested in media
Right.
because I'm aware before. Well, I shouldn't say I was aware.
I'm not even gonna before I walked in,
You
I just started first.
I had. I think we have them all, and
All of them done.
you said what?
I said, but when I started at first,
Yeah, they're done. All the chats are
didn't
done.
I didn't think any Black people did it on the cool. I really didn't. I really thought it was something that
Were
that's
you in
something
the
that
50
came to
Shades of
me.
Grey? Yeah. And
Until I
50 Shades of
started
Grey, they
digging
got a
in.
lot of people because I was in the theater like, where he at?
But I picked up the discipline part.
Definitely.
I wanted somebody to help me take care of me. So it wasn't the kink was there because I was already doing that and didn't know. I was already doing stuff that I didn't even know that was a kink yet. So it's always been there.
Oh, wow. Yeah, definitely. And since this is town hall style, did anyone want to come off
Share
mute
and share.
and share anything
Hey
about
y'all,
newbies
hey.
entering a community?
Hey
Hello.
y'all, hey. I'm not considered a newbie, but I'm just gonna say when I came in, I was just coming in because my husband wanted to come on in. He was like, "Hey, we let's try this BDSM thing," and I'm like, "BDSM, like what? What these acronyms? I'm not good at acronyms. So what does that mean?" Then he was like, "Oh, it means this and this and this." I don't know what that means, but okay. All right. So I came in and because it's something that he wanted to do, and then boom, it happened like that. That's it. It just happened like that, like just like that.
Yeah. 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 Mine happened pretty quickly also. And then a lot of reading and asking my sir and my sister wives. So definitely. That's how we learn. Definitely. You have to ask questions, educate yourself, learn what you like and what you don't like. It's the process. It's never ending. Never ending. Vetting is never ending. For newbies, it doesn't just stop when you find a dame or dominant. That's a 2.5 years in. We still vet sometimes. We're still learning. That's all a part of getting to know someone if you are planning to be in a long-term dynamic. It's important. We got a couple in the chat, Copa.
Yes.
Sam said I was looking for more information. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Sam said I was looking for more information and people that look like me and confirmation that I wasn't weird. Yes, that's true. Find what your kinks are and you find other people that have similar kinks. Yeah, you find out like, hey, there's a whole bunch of people that like this, like the same thing. It's just like, it's refreshing, definitely. I
Right.
can understand that. Uh, Big N said, I just wanted a hug. Hello, sir.
Oh,
Boppy Claw said facts. He said he just wanted a hug.
I
oh,
like
so
to
I gave him a good hug.
see her over there shaking, nodding and stuff. I like to see what she got to say. Sanger, where you at?
All right, Miss Thankful. Yeah.
You know, she always got something to add on, something nice.
I was listening to all the comments of facts that builds this community. The whole thing is everyone said something where we all started from. We were self-curious. We thought we were the only person that felt that way or wanted to do this. We all come from that. Um, with me growing up in the lifestyle. I thought it was already the thing that was going on, and I was shocked with my first experience in a relationship that that wasn't the case. So I felt kind of awkward since I knew more than the particular person because I thought it was the norm. And I realized we're all amazing Black unicorns, and that makes us unique, and that makes us not weird, but amazing. So consider yourself amazing. Remove weirdness. You're not weird. You're just amazing.
I'll take amazing.
Right on.
Yep, I think amazing also.
Mhm.
And that just goes into when you enter the community, who am I and where do I fit? So definitely when you find your people, you're just like, it's like a breath of fresh air, like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been missing, or, I've always been like this. Find community. Finding a community and finding good people, good, safe people in the community is everything.
That's true.
So, do you want to ask another question?
Um, I actually want to read something that I came across now, and I kind of liked it because, yeah, so I just want to read that. It says community versus cults of personality. Healthy communities encourage critical thinking. Unhealthy spaces encourage unquestioning loyalty. A mentor should teach you how to think, not tell you what to think. A leader should inspire growth, not require devotion. A community should expand your voice, not replace it. I just wanted to share that. It just kind of resonate everything that I try to give the girls in sub talk
Yeah.
on slowing down their spaces and actually
Yeah,
watching all things from your mentor to everything.
definitely. Yeah, we also cover that as well. It's important.
Right. You actually want to
I
do
think
it?
we have something.
I'm sorry. I don't know if I got bad connection or not, but
Yeah,
you keep freezing on me. Okay.
experienced member who thinks you see me. Yeah, I think our Zoom, it might be our Zoom connection. So a newcomer attends a few events. They meet an experienced member who seems knowledgeable and respected. Within weeks, they're changing how they dress, adapting new language, and taking on new labels. Defending people they barely know. When concerns are raised by others, they respond, "You just don't understand them like I do." Months later, they realize they never actually explored what they wanted. They adopted what was modeled for them. So it's important, uber important. I always stress to know what you want. Know yourself. If you know yourself, you know your high limits, things you won't accept, then you're not easily led astray or led to do things that don't resonate internally, authentically with you, I should say. So I'm going to go ahead and go over some discussion questions. We're going to go ahead and head to the chat. Again, this is an interactive town hall style, so we want everyone to participate if you can. So the first question is, where did curiosity stop? If anyone wants to answer, if they've ever had any warning signs that were missed when they were new in the lifestyle, it could be on both sides of the slash. I know we have some Doms and Dames online. We'd love to hear from you all.
Got a question again, Summer?
Where did curiosity stop when the warning signs were missed when they when they were newly entering the community?
I guess I can start.
I'm looking in the chat. Okay.
I think Coco's gonna have to mute. Yeah, there you go. Let me see. So some of the things that I missed when I was coming into the lifestyle, I myself came in due to curiosity, and because I'm a curious person, I like to know at least a little bit about everything if I can. But I brought in my old beliefs, the vanilla world beliefs into this, thinking that it would translate in some way, shape, or form. So one of the biggest things that I learned is number one, just because they like you doesn't mean you have to like them. Um, I had to learn that just because they were attracted to me or they wanted to be around me does not mean that they deserve to be around me. So I had to figure that out the hard way. Another thing that I had to learn was um, it's okay to be who I am, but all of who I am is not okay. So I needed to learn which parts of me was just completely toxic, which parts of me was not going to continue to build for myself, help me to be able to get to the calm that I actually desired. So I had to learn that too. I'll give you those two. The rest of them, Coco's got to give it to you because she worked on it. I didn't.
Thank
But I
you,
worked
sir.
on You said I worked on it.
You said you worked on it.
Did my best.
Constant
Did your best.
progress.
Well, we appreciate you definitely. There's some things in the chat. I'll go ahead and hit the chat and then we can continue. So Sir D said, I always tell people don't be so quick to identify and learn first. Yes.
Yes. Please
Yeah,
identify.
it's a process. Yeah, it's definitely a process. A process you don't want to take too long to learn, especially when you start vetting. But everything go if you find the right dynamic, the right dominant, that training, uh, you figure it out. It's an evolving process, definitely.
Yeah, and the
Let's
identifying never stops. I've changed my identity 3 times.
I'm trying to change mine a little bit. I'm like, well, it might be this, or might be this. Some days I feel like a bunny. Am I a pet? I don't know.
The more I grow, the more the more I grow, the more I have to learn.
Yeah. But that's a part of life, growth and changing. Things change, people change for the better, definitely. Let's see. I had Mari Moonstone. I kept missing that last piece. Will you put the question in the chat for us, pretty please? Yes, I will. And let's see.
I'm gonna read a
See,
question.
Brady Assassins that figure out your own stuff, mission, vision, values before you try yourself, you tie yourself to someone else. Yes, definitely. That's good advice. Definitely. You do have to figure out, that's figuring out self.
Yeah, and she also said is that the dynamic is not the end all be all, because you do have a lot of people out here in the community that they're not connected to a dynamic, but they are in community working and making sure they get what they need as much as they serve.
Definitely. Some people they don't want to be in a dynamic. They just want to enjoy themselves in the community, and that's fine too. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the questions in the chat. We got some questions popping up, so I want to make sure we don't miss anyone. Sugar said I just had to still have to learn to hush, and I'm still learning how to not be so available to folks that ain't available to you.
Woo.
That's a good one. Definitely. Latricia said that you have to have a strong foundation of self first. That way the manipulation or missteps can be lessened or avoided. Definitely. That's early stage stuff. So definitely. Let's see. Sir D said exactly education first. We can be this and that. And Amy Who Rose said learn to pace and pay attention to warning signs. Initially with being new, frenzy, and NRE, I was excited to find my people, but that dime tried to take advantage. Now I'm in no rush and want to explore my kinks and increase my knowledge. The rest fall into place. Yes, definitely. And sorry you had that experience, that bad experience. I can go two ways. That can make someone tap in more to what they, what they identify as, what they accept and what they don't accept. And then it can also, unfortunately, it can push people out of the community where they don't even want to continue if they're running into like predators and stuff, which,
Right.
yeah, it's definitely a slippery slope.
Summer, may I
Let's
speak?
see. Is it sure, of course. Let me put this question in the chat.
I would like to say this to the newbies who are trying to discover how to label themselves. Don't put a label on yourself. Go with your natural instinct, especially for subs. Subs with transitions from littles to middles to brats. Find your true comfort. You may have to figure out that you're a little bit of everything until you graduate and mature into your true subtitle. There's no rush. It's not called confusion. It's just like going through puberty and adolescence. You're growing into yourself. When you come into this lifestyle, you think that you're this particular way, and then you realize, well, no, I'm more stronger on this side. It's okay not to label yourself. Once you come in, you will grow into that. Once you get with the community and you hear a lot of similarities or strong things that's in common with your character and with your personality, it'll help you identify with yourself. You don't have to come in here with a title or a label. Come into the community willing to learn the basics, learn the necessities of how to be safe, how to communicate, learn how to vet in someone that you want to start engaging with, or in the vanilla life, starting to date and use the verbiage to communicate. It's so different from vanilla when you're vetting versus going out on a date. It has similarities, but they definitely, it's like salt and sugar. They look the same, but they definitely taste different. So just take your time. You have a village around you that supports you. Um, there is no wrong answer. The wrong answer is not asking questions. And then it'll help you grow and mature into who you truly are. But I will say this, no matter what you think you are truly a gift. You start as a gift. When you identify with yourself and come into this community, you're a gift. You just need to find out what kind of wrapping of a gift that you are.
Definitely.
I think
Yes. Dropping gems, dropping gems.
I think what I see the most is that they want to bypass the process. You was talking about the process. You can't be in a hurry. You got to take your time. And what's a few of those that I have had opportunity to kind of consult with is trying to get them to understand how dangerous it can be. By rushing in, they meet somebody, they sell them a good story, and then they sold to the wind, and then you see them 6 months later, a year later, and they hurt. And it's like, what happened? Well, he turned out not to. Well, I tried to tell you to slow down. That you can't bypass the. Yeah, it sounds good. Yes, it's fun. Yes, it can be anything that you're looking for. But if it's with the right person, it can be a bad situation. And that's one of the most frustrating things is getting them to slow down and not try to bypass the process.
Yes. Thank
I
you for
agree.
that. Yeah.
Definitely agree.
Yeah. Definitely have to have good pacing. We talk about that a lot in our S type chat. Just good pacing. There's no rush. If that's the dominant or dynamic, then they want you to take your time and get to learn them and their house or them, and there's no rush, especially if it's just not a kink thing. If it's going to be you joining a house, a family, then there's no rush. You can definitely take your time because a lot of people, a lot of houses are planned for long term, not just for just kink. So nothing wrong with taking your time and pacing. I definitely stress that. That's newbie 101.
One on one.
Take your time.
So Megan has his
Definitely.
hand.
I'd like to add on to the
Yeah.
conversation a little bit. So I want to talk about like how important it is to understand that evolution is an ongoing thing. Like this is constantly happening. It's not like you're gonna wake up one day and you're who you are and that's just who you are for the rest of your life. You got to understand that it's always going to be changing and you got to be open to that. An example of that is just today, I was faced with a situation where, I realized that I had myself gotten caught up in a vibe of the moment and started to think out of character, out of like what I would normally do. So in that moment, I had to realize, like, not only am I not the person, that I once was that would have responded to things this way, but I got to be mindful of all of these triggers as well. Excuse me, all of these triggers as well, because little things like a conversation can bring you back to something that you thought you were, done with. The problem is you never really done with it. It's still a part of you. It's just a past part of you. So I saw it pop up on the screen. I don't know who said it, but someone said discernment is key, and it absolutely is. But that applies across the board in everything you do, even with just your own thought processes. Don't think that it's just about exterior forces and things that's going to put you in these situations. A lot of times it's going to be in your own mind. That's where the work comes in. Everybody says they're healed. Everybody says they're working on things and they're doing better. But in those moments, you got to like really be able to apply it. So I just wanted to throw that out there for conversation's sake. I'm here.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you dropping those gems on us, definitely. And let's see, we have a few in the chat code, but I'll go ahead and go over before we continue. Queen said, yes, we talk about the rush in the S-type chat so much. Don't bypass the vetting. Thank you, Queen. Brady Assassin, right package, wrong address, definitely. And Christina, I think some people lie and they want long term, but are just looking for a good time. That's where those questions come in. No one should be upset about you being a newbie asking questions. You don't know, so you're gonna ask the questions. And if you get someone that refuses to answer questions, doesn't want it, just if you discernment is key. It's everything. It will and vet like your life depends on it because it definitely does.
Yeah.
And sir,
If
you
they
got
don't
some
want you
you want to
asking
add something to
questions,
that, sir?
I was just gonna say if they don't want you asking questions, it's because they don't know the answers. So keep that in mind. There's no there, if the dominant is confident in their abilities, if they're confident in their knowledge, in their level of education, and all those things, they welcome these questions because it's an opportunity to show. Yeah, I do know my shit. I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm not just throwing stuff out there. So if they don't and they shy away from that, it's because they need a few minutes. They got to go check Chat GPT or they got to go Google it and figure out what Google says. So just keep that in mind. Real shit.
Thank
Can
you,
I jump
sir.
in on that? Can I jump in on that?
Sure.
Mute
Absolutely.
for a second. So
Absolutely.
I did want to add more to what Singa said and answer the question that Mystique put up about the vetting. There's no wrong way to vet, but vetting is mandatory. Vetting is paramount. You have to do it in any way that you can. You have to slow down. You have to make sure you ask questions. And if they're afraid to answer the questions, or at least go find the answers to the questions, then you should really look at that as a red flag. I'm not going to sit there and say that every dominant that you're going to come across is going to be completely knowledgeable. We all start someplace. Not everyone has all of the answers. So I'm not going to hold that against someone because they don't have the answer to the question that you have. But if they're unwilling to go and find the answer to the question, that is a big red flag. Um, I myself believe that a dominant is supposed to push your boundaries in a safe way so that they can help you to grow, so that you can, expand your horizons and things of that nature. So it's not always something that you want to jump and say, "Oh no, he's on some dumb shit." Don't do that. Slow down, pay attention, listen, and make sure that if they can't find the answer, then help them to get there, or well, don't help them to get there. See if they're willing to go and get there. That's what I meant to say. I do apologize for that. Um, and I also wanted to make sure that you, when you're coming into this, don't be afraid to be vetted. Um, if you're afraid to be vetted, that's a red flag to me. Because on my side, I also know that there's a such thing as a predatory submissive as well as a dom. And there's submissives that are literally just out trying to get a collar, just wanting to be on just so they can say that they have it. And you got to be careful not to become one of those people because it can happen real fast and quick. You don't even know that you're doing it. Make sure you're slowing down. Make sure you're taking your time because this is, in all honesty, not supposed to be something that is rushed because this is life. This is lives. This is things that could endanger us. These are things that can give you further triggers than you've ever had. So please just take your time.
Definitely. Last
Thank
words.
you.
Oh,
Thank you for
oh,
dropping
and
those in.
nowhere. And oh, I'm sorry for not being on camera. I'm, half naked, so I don't want to be on camera.
Ew. Look at y'all. We have a lot of hands raised.
Okay. You want to just call on someone?
Yeah, let's go with the Lady Aurora.
Mari, you are more than welcome to go first. It looks like your
I
hand was
didn't
up
see
before
who I
mine.
didn't see who was there first. I'm
It's
sorry.
okay. That's why let it
Thank
value. We're
you.
gonna talk
Thank
about
you.
it.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was so sweet. Thank you so much, the Lady Aurora. I had a quick clarifying question this evening. I wanted to ask, are we having a conversation about giving advice to being new to the lifestyle in general, or are we discussing advice for being new to the kink community? Or are we talking about both?
We are talking about the kink community.
So okay, so not the lifestyle, just okay, I got you. Okay.
I
Thank
mean,
you.
it correlates. I mean, vetting but yeah, the lifestyle as far as the swinger side, works a little bit different than the BDS kink side. So we're our talks are on the BDSM kink side. Is what we're focused on tonight. But definitely, if you have any questions about the swinger, that side, I definitely was in it for a while, so you can always DM me or put your question in the chat and I can answer it.
When I said lifestyle, I was referring to the kink lifestyle, so that's my bad
Okay.
for crisscrossing. I was just
Okay.
asking, yeah, I was asking for the clarification because I got into the lifestyle in 2021. And I've been in two dynamics so far, like long-term ones, but I haven't actually integrated into the community in a way that I would really like to be, which is like why I'm here and stuff. I'm trying to get with my people, skin folk, kin folk, all that good shit. And
Yeah.
I definitely was looking for some pointers for when you're not a newbie to kink in general and being in a dynamic and all that stuff, but you're still new to the actual like shared spaces. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to like catch that nuance and see if I
Gotcha.
can get some insight on that. If anybody has things that they can add.
Yeah, well, we definitely have some vets on here. What questions in particular do you have about that?
You
When you
know,
say shared spaces, you mean like dungeons,
yes.
dynamics, house space, like
Yes, I would
okay.
say like the dungeons, the parties, um, that's what I mean by the shared spaces with other kinksters.
All right. Well, we have plenty of veterans
Summer,
on
may I
there.
speak? I can.
You sure can. I was about to call you. Look, here you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say
So
I
hold
can
on
answer.
before we. Sorry, I'm so sorry. My hand's been up for a minute. I need to get this point out before we
Oh, go
jump
ahead. I'm
over there.
sorry.
Respectfully, of course. First things before
Fine.
we jump into community spaces, right? We've been talking about vetting, right? And we're talking about vetting the other person and vet that other person. Before you even do that, you need to vet yourself. You need to have some real serious, tough conversations with yourself. We are all so quick. I want to get in community. I want to learn. I want to this. I want to that. But you have not done any of the work on yourself. You're not in therapy. You're not doing anything to better yourself so that you can even be prepared to be in a dynamic, let alone community. Because if you're walking around here toxic and upset because whatever, you're not ever going to be able to properly vet someone else because you're not healthy and happy with yourself. Like for me, when I'm talking to people, engaging with people, I always tell them you need to have at least a high school diploma of yourself. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to have every single thing figured out. That's what some dynamics are for to help you grow. But if you don't even know what kind of plant you are, how somebody else is going to help you grow. So that is very important that you vet yourself. As far as your question about community spaces, this goes back to what I'm already talking about. What is your intention behind going to these spaces? Because that is going to determine what space you even go into. If your intention is to shenan, I love that, go shenan. But if you want education and growth and development, it is, hey, go into those spaces where those things are at. If that means kink conferences, leather events, actual educational conversations where people are teaching classes. A lot of people, their exposure right now is Facebook and groups. Half of the people on these Facebook groups don't even have a fat life to go look for actual education. So that's where you decide as a newbie where you enter into community. That's entirely dependent upon what your intentions are when you enter into those communities. And I'm getting off my soapbox. Okay, we're done.
No, we love the soapbox.
Please
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was everything. She pretty much got, look, she covered it. I love it. Anyone else want to give her any advice? Share spaces, etiquette, dungeon. I'll go back to the chat.
I can speak if this Sir
Of
D.
course.
Um as far as
Hello.
shared spaces, it goes back to what the lady Aurora was saying. You need to know, where you're going and what you want to do. Me, for instance, I'm in, I put in the chat about, we use that word lifestyle, but lifestyle, in my opinion, is anything that's alternative, that's not vanilla, which is the umbrella of things. So you do come into some spaces. We have kinksters, and kinksters like to do kink, but they really don't like power exchange. Some things like that is different. You understand? So we need to know where we're at and what we actually want. So when we know what we want and know what we're trying to do, that kind of can help the situation. Excuse me, I'm sorry, my dog is tripping out. I'm sorry, but as far as where you're going and what you're doing, you have the swing people, you have this, you have that, but you need to know what area, because some things coincide. We have swing people who like kink, so they do kink, and I do some of their parties, and we have kinksters who don't want any of the power exchange, but they just want to do the kink stuff, and the fetish stuff and whatever. So we need to know exactly, specifically, where you want to go with that to see, the boundaries and the limits. And another thing, I'm glad that you brought out the thing about vetting yourself. Thank you, the lady Aurora, because as a dominant, as a female dom, I often come into contact with people who have not healed and have issues, this, that, and the third. If we don't, and me, I mean, I suffer from X, Y, and Z. So I have to make sure I'm whole in order to be whole for my people. So when you're coming into things and doing things, we need to be whole You know, as a dominant, I can't be your therapist. You know, when I vet you, I ask you, do you have X, Y, and Z? And the reason I want to know that because when we're in this dynamic, I need to know if you get into in a situation, do you have any, you know, coping mechanisms that can help you if you go through a struggle, if you're here, if you're there. So those are the questions that I ask as a dominant. You know, if you have PTSD, what if you get triggered? Do you know how to handle that? Do you have coping mechanisms? You know, we need to ask ourselves the questions. We need to know the answers. You know, I ask those things. So just a couple of my 2 cents. Thank you guys. Love the answers. I'm not sure, is it Pedra? I'm glad you said what you said. That's what I was saying about being easily identifying and easily tagging yourself with a label and that. Because once we get into this and educate, we can be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm sorry, singer. Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names. But we can be this, and this. We're so people say, oh, well, you're this and you're that and you're this. I saw somebody say, well, now I think I'm a slave, or now I think, right. Because once you get in, you start educating, you're like, oh, hey, I can be this and that. I never, as a dominant, understood what a switch was, but people, you know, explained to me because I'm not a switch, but people explain, and I think it's hella great that you can do this and that. You know what I mean? So thank you for allowing me in the conversation.
Welcome. Thank you so much, Sir D.
Thank you, Sir D.
Singer, were you saying something? You're on mute. Is she clapping? All righty,
Family,
we're gonna go.
I'm loving it. I'm loving the town hall. I just want to
I
know
know, I love it
who's voting
too.
for mayor right now at the town hall. That's what
Right.
I want to know.
We got a lot of candidates, definitely. Thank you so much, Mary Moonstone. And definitely, if you have any questions, my DM is open summer night. We do have an S-type chat. I don't know if you identify as an S-type, but we definitely would love to have you if you do, to shoot me a message, or if you have any other questions. I could pass them along to other vets and definitely get you what you need. Does anyone else have anything? I'm trying to with the
I
chat. So
wanted to say, I wanted to say
if
one
I
more
miss
thing.
anything, I want to raise hand and come off.
Yeah, I
Oh,
just
so
wanted to say one
sorry.
more thing.
It looks like Brady's
Oh.
hand's been up this whole time, so I feel like it's her turn to go. And then Diggins, if you would like to put your hand up, you're more than welcome.
I'll fight you
Thank
later.
you.
If you can, you're gonna
Pretty
lose.
much,
Go ahead.
Sister Day. I was being very pleasant. Did you see me being good? Thank you. I just wanted to say, Mary Moonstone, welcome. I hope you're finding the things that you need. But to whatever community you are entering into is to define your terms. Um, Words matter, people. So what you may be saying and what you may be talking about, you could be using the exact same word as the person that is sitting in front of you, and you two may be talking about two completely different things. So for me, much like what Sir D said, LS is not something that I ascribe to. It's not something I identify as. It's not something I talk to people about because I've never been less. I don't know nothing about that. What I am is swing friendly. I got swinger friends. I understand the swing community, but that's not my bag. So I do not at all talk about LS stuff because that's not my lane. And I like to stay in the lanes I know. Um, However, you can ask me all day about kink, BDSM, and leather. All day. I'm gonna tell you everything I got to know and everything I do know, and I'm a resource and I'm gonna point you in the right direction. If it's a question I can't answer, I'm gonna tell you where to go. So when you're vetting not just people, but events, organizations, educational things that you want to go to, figuring out whether they are LS events, kink events, BDSM events, or leather events is extremely important because it's going to tell you whether or not that aligns with what it is that you want to do. that something that matches your mission, vision, and values? Is that something that's going to feed what it is that you need? Again, because words matter, ask the questions. How the event producer person, what kind of crowd is this targeted to? You know, what kind of questions are going to be asked? And if you want to ask that up front, do it. Um, know that for the most part, munches are BDSM and kink related most of the time. Sometimes you might get a leather crowd at munches, but generally, if you hear the word munch, it's BDSM, kink, maybe leather. There are certain words that mean certain things. That's a great thing to get started on when you first get into the community. What do the words mean? Because then you help yourself to figure out where you should and shouldn't be. Um, but I think that that's something that we fail to push as hard as we push, get you a dime, get you a sub. We fail to push as hard as, so are you a sub, you a slave, you know, you a dominant, you a master. We asking all of them questions up real fast, but we not asking people, you know, what their words are. What are your words? You know, what matters to you? And teach a little class about that, but I ain't gonna hype myself up to that. But I just to make sure I said that. And Mari, you can find me Facebook, Instagram, FetLife, all that good stuff. Okay, bye y'all.
Thank you.
You.
Thank you. It's all about education and supporting one another. So definitely, I love the support and the knowledge that everyone is giving tonight.
Can I just add this point? And
I think there was another hand up before yours, Frank.
oh,
I'm so
oh,
sorry.
I'm
Biggins'
sorry.
hand was up.
I
But
got
if you
too
want
many.
to
I
put your
can't
hand
see
up,
it.
Thank you.
mm-hmm.
Oh, it's my turn again?
Yeah,
Okay.
now it's your turn.
Now it's my turn. Okay. I'll fight you later. So one thing that I definitely wanted to make sure that I put in, also bouncing off of basically what Brady said, is that contrary to popular belief, BDSM is not cookie cutter. You got to mute Coco. There you go. I'm echoing. Sorry. Okay. Contrary to popular belief, BDSM is not cookie cutter. There's no standard way of being BDSM. You can basically have your BDSM life however the hell you want it to be. The main thing that you also need to make sure that you do is negotiate. Negotiate, 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 because all of it is about making sure that you're getting what you want and making sure that they are getting what they want. But if you don't know who you are and what you want, that is going to be a big problem. You must educate yourself. There are books everywhere. There are people to talk to. If you don't have anybody to talk to, you can reach out to Triskelion. You can reach out to the House of Atlas. We are an educational house and we do counsel and mentor too. So you can come and ask us questions and we don't completely look at you crazy, but we'll try not to. So, but there's plenty of resources to just go outside and figure out what it is that you want to do. There's also, you know, if you search the internet, there's some goofy little quizzes that you can go and take, and it'll give you at least a direction to go into, so that you know you could at least start asking. Hey, it said that I'm a rope bunny. I've never even been tied up before. I've never even touched rope. Now you can go and get books that tell you what rope to look at, what different knots you could try, all the different kind of things. You could be a a sub slut if you want to, which you know that's the thing, and you could go and just if you just want to be you know tied up and then humped on, then you could do that. If that's what you want, that's fine. Just have a direction in which you want to go. Start reading stuff. There's if you're into submission, there's a good book. It's called Real Service, and that's a good one to start off with. If you're a dominant, I would suggest reading the Leather Boys Handbook. That's something to get started with. You have resources. Just reach out to someone or do Google searches, do something so that you at least have a direction to go for it.
Definitely. And then Kofa, thank you, Sir Pickens, dropping that knowledge, being a great support tonight. And then we are getting down to the wire of closing out. Do we have any other questions? Anyone else want to go off mute before we wrap it up?
Sam, your hand was up, friend. Did you still have a question?
Yeah, he pretty much, big Mr. Biggins pretty much answered what I was going to say. I was just going to stress to the newbies that not only is it important to vet people, but it's also important to vet the information. It's very important to vet the information because anybody can tell you anything and sell it and make it sound real good. Don't believe him or her just because they said it. Look it up for yourself. Ask them where the resource is. Where did they find it at? Where's the book at? Where's the information at? Where's the link at? Look it up for yourself. That's very important because you need to know. Once again, this is a very dangerous game. You need to know what you're getting yourself into. You really do need to know, and asking questions from another veteran does not hurt at all. It does not hurt at all. That's all I had to say.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Also,
definitely
to add
ask
on to that,
questions.
all our case studies and everything that we do, we drop links at the end so you can go vet all the information. You can go check out everything that we say. These are real sources that we look up, so you'll be able to kind of go through it. And if while you're going through it, you see something and feel a different way about a point we made, or if you want to kind of you got an idea of something that you want to do later on to kind of bring this particular point up and in a Zoom or something, and we always open. You could always inbox either of us, and we're always open to work with people and try to get the information out there. So yeah, but I just wanted to say we always drop our links at the end of our Zoom, so you can always go and check the information for yourself.
Thank you. And sir, did you want to go ahead and do the academy while we're talking about education? Perfect time.
Absolutely, absolutely. So of course I got to do my shameless plug. As some of you know, we started an online academy, 100% online. It's www.triskelionsacademy.com. Excuse me, a little heartburn today. www.triskelionsacademy.com. Basically, it's a free course we offer. You go in and you're able to get all this initial information you need from BDSM acronyms and terminology to other factors as far as how to vet and all of these different information. So um, you could always go there and check that out. We do offer a free class. Like I said, the initial course is free. So just get in there. If you look it over and you feel like there's something that we could add or something we could take away, reach out, let us know. We'll add it in. I'm actually in the middle of revamping it all right now. Challenge BPD to rethink that. Got you. So I also we're revamping things right now. We're doing a leadership course where we have different points of view from actual relatable sources where you can go and vet your information yourself. But these are actual templates that are used in day-to-day high operating organizations to effectively lead in any situation. So just take a few minutes and go check that out, and then just get back to me and let me know what you think. And yeah, we'll make adjustments as we go. We always open to working with people. Go ahead, babe.
Definitely. Definitely. And then I did drop the links in the chat. And I want to give a shout out to my admin in the S-Type chat who is putting the group information in chats. Queen, thank you so much in the comment. So she did drop our Black BDSM Elite, all of our community chats that are open and free to join. We'd love to have y'all. And the conversation has been going. Definitely we want to go ahead and thank you all for coming out tonight and go ahead and do our final words. And Copa, you want to go first?
Yes, I would love to go first. I want to thank everybody for joining in. Y'all took all of the things out, everything else I had to say. Y'all brought everything up. So I do appreciate my family for being in here and actually saying everything. So if you are new, please take this everything that you heard tonight under consideration. There were some gems dropped, and you do have a lot of outlets. I even have a sub talk space, so just reach out to any of us. Most of us are our family, and there is no competing. We just gonna take care of you. If I don't know it, I'm gonna send it to them. If they don't know it, they're gonna send you to me. So that's what I love about the town hall. Y'all have a great night.
Yes. And I want to go ahead and do the final word. So thank you everyone for joining us tonight. We got so many people on here, so many new faces. Copa, we got to do a town hall too.
Yeah, we do. Oh, maybe we can make it a
Yeah.
thing where, people be coming and talking.
Yeah. Yeah, but definitely I will run. Okay, my sir's on here. I said, let me run about my sir, of course.
Right.
So I just want to thank everyone for coming out. We definitely enjoyed you. We're gonna do it again, and we're gonna go ahead and see if Serenity. Do you have any final words tonight?
The healthiest newcomers eventually become curious about themselves, not just the community, not just the labels, not just the dynamics, but themselves. Because long-term success in this lifestyle requires self-awareness. You need to know your boundaries, your values, your desires, your deal breakers, and your goals before anyone else defines them for you.
Definitely good information. Thank you, Miss Serenity. And yes, for now, we're going to turn it over to what y'all came for. Back to my sir for his famous dad joke.
Right.
Good night. There you go, sir.
So before I get into it, I just want to say thank you to everybody for coming out. It was really dope seeing everybody, seeing all these names I haven't seen in a while pop up. It's really dope to see like everything starting to take shape, and we're getting good information out. So I really appreciate everybody coming in and sharing their input, sharing their information. This is how this gets done. When we first started thinking about doing this, it was really just based off of the idea that I was just getting a lot of questions from people, and I was like, what if we could create a space where people can come on and ask questions in real time and get real answers so that they can ask follow-on questions and talk to other vets and other people that's been doing this and even other new people. So I really appreciate everybody making this happen and bringing this to life. This is a dope thing that's going on here. So please just come on back. If you know somebody that can benefit from this, come check it out. Like I said, we're always open, so you can hit me up if you got ideas, maybe a show that you might want to do in the future. I saw my niece hit me up and said she might be interested in doing a Switch show, so I'm with it. Let's do it. But I know that at the end of these, y'all show up, y'all sit here for a whole hour listening to us talk about all the stuff, and the whole time y'all like, I can't wait to get to the joke. Like, when y'all gonna stop talking and get to the joke? I know y'all waiting for my jokes. So I appreciate that though. I appreciate that. That makes me smile. I was reading this article earlier. It was talking about this dude that went to jail for doing the hokey pokey. When he got out, he turned his life around. He turned around.
Okay, that was a good one.
Good.
I laughed out loud. Okay.
I laughed. That was a good one.
There you go. There you go. There you go. It's getting creative. Yeah. I like that. I like that. Yeah. So but ultimately, that's it. That's the only one I got. I ain't gonna overload y'all with funny tonight because I don't want you choking on your food and stuff. But I really appreciate the fact that after a long day at work, y'all come, y'all sit down with us, y'all sitting and attentive for a full hour, just getting this information. It makes us feel like what we're doing is actually making a difference to people, and that makes it all worth it. As you know, we don't get paid for this. We just do this off of love because we really want to get the message out there to people. There wasn't nothing like this when I was coming up. There was nothing like that when Kofi was coming up, or when these other veterans that are out here were coming up. We just kind of had to learn it on the fly and mess everything up on the way. But now we learn that if we had the proper guidance, then we could have done it the right way the first time, and that's what we're trying to do now. We're just out here trying to do it the right way the first time. It's not a popular thing with everybody, but it's okay because really it's about y'all. It's about those that tune in and want the information. That's the only ones we care about. So I appreciate y'all coming and spending time with us. I always say Fortiori Una. That's Latin for stronger together. I truly believe in this. I truly believe that everything we do, as long as we're together, we can't be stopped. Shoulder to shoulder, a unified front. We're always going to rise to the top. So thank you for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Fortiori Una. And have a good evening, y'all.
Thank you. Bye, y'all.